The digital world has once again bowed down to the undeniable power of Kim Taehyung, better known as V of BTS. Within just 1 week, the global superstar managed to send the internet into a frenzy, leaving millions of fans and even non-fans stunned, emotional, and unable to look away from his every move. What exactly did Taehyung do that shook the world so hard? The answer is both simple and extraordinary. He simply lived, and the world couldn't handle it. From his casual yet breathtaking fashion choices that instantly became the blueprint of global trends, to his warm and unfiltered interactions with fans that went viral within seconds, Taehyung turned an ordinary week into a cultural phenomenon. Every single glimpse of him became headline material. One candid video, one photo, even a subtle gesture, each instantly ignited social media platforms, flooding timelines with millions of reactions. Hashtags carrying his name dominated the top trends worldwide for days, proving that no one captures attention quite like Taehyung. The ripple effect of his presence was undeniable. Fashion brands reported massive spikes in searches for the exact items Taehyung wore. Short clips of him sparked endless fan edits, reaction videos, and discussions across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The scale of this impact? Unstoppable. For ARMY, this was nothing new, but it still felt surreal. How could one man consistently turn the entire internet upside down with such ease? Was it his charm? His artistry? His effortless aura? Or was this week a carefully laid out prelude to something even bigger on the horizon? One thing is certain. The internet didn't just react, it exploded. And the world is now left wondering, what will Taehyung do next? ARMY, do you believe this is just the beginning of something greater? Or is this simply the natural effect of Taehyung being his authentic, irresistible self? The most fascinating part of this explosive moment is that Taehyung didn't even try. He wasn't chasing the spotlight. He wasn't orchestrating a viral moment. He was simply existing. And yet the internet couldn't resist turning every second into history. That's the kind of star power very few in this world can claim to have. Within just a week, millions of fans across continents found themselves glued to their screens. Every new update, whether it was a photo drop, a short clip, or even a blurry fan-taken video, was enough to dominate global headlines. In fact, the speed at which Taehyung trended showed that his influence was no longer limited to the ARMY community. Ordinary internet users who might not even follow K-pop couldn't help but click, share, and comment. But what exactly was the it factor this time? Some fans believe it was his fashion, the way he effortlessly wore pieces that most people wouldn't even notice, yet somehow turned them into must-have items overnight. Others argue it was the genuine moments of warmth he shared with fans, the type of interactions that melted hearts and reminded the world why. Taehyung has always been seen as the soul of BTS. And then, there are those who believe that something bigger is coming, that Taehyung's sudden surge in global attention is the universe dropping hints about an upcoming project. Speculations are flying left and right. Is he preparing for a new solo release? Is there a hidden collaboration waiting to be announced? Or perhaps, could it be something entirely unexpected, something that will shake the entertainment industry to its core? Nobody knows for sure, but the anticipation is almost unbearable. The internet, however, doesn't wait for answers. It thrives on the mystery. And that's exactly what's happening now. Memes, edits, fan theories, and countless discussions have turned every corner of social media into a digital festival dedicated to Taehyung. In just 1 week, the man didn't just trend, he owned the internet. The most powerful question remains, if Taehyung can cause this kind of explosion in just 7 days, what will happen when he finally decides to reveal his next move? Will the internet even be able to handle it? Or will the world once again stop in its tracks, caught under the spell of the one and only Kim Taehyung? ARMY, the stage is yours. What do you think is coming next? Could this be a sign of history in the making? The internet has always had its fair share of viral moments, But what happened with Taehyung this past week was on an entirely different scale. It wasn't just a passing trend. It wasn't just a fleeting moment of buzz. It was a movement. A phenomenon so powerful that the ripple effects could be felt across every social platform, every time zone, and every language. On Twitter, now X, Taehyung's name became a permanent fixture in the trending charts. On TikTok, his clips were stitched, edited, remixed, and re-uploaded thousands of times, each gaining millions of views. On Instagram, every photo related to him, no matter how small, gathered likes at lightning speed. Even platforms like Weibo and YouTube couldn't escape his reach. Fans across Asia, Europe, the Americas, and beyond were all caught in the same whirlwind of excitement. What's striking about this is the emotional intensity behind the reactions. Fans weren't just admiring him. They were crying, laughing, screaming, and pouring out their feelings in ways that showed just how deeply Taehyung has impacted their lives. One fan wrote, "I don't even know why I'm crying, but just seeing him smile this week healed something in me I didn't know was broken." Another commented, "Every little thing he does feels like a gift, like the world is brighter because Taehyung exists." And these aren't isolated emotions. They represent millions of voices echoing across the globe. But beyond the adoration, there's also curiosity, an almost electric sense of anticipation. Why is Taehyung suddenly dominating the internet in such an unstoppable wave? Is this a coincidence or is it part of something much bigger? Fans are piecing together clues like detectives, analyzing his fashion choices, his schedule, his words, and even the subtle details in the background of his photos. Some are convinced that he's hinting at a major project. Others believe this is his natural aura and effortless magnetism. That doesn't need explanation. Either way, the results are undeniable. Taehyung has managed to turn the internet into his personal stage without even saying a word. The most fascinating element, however, is how this wave has reached people outside the ARMY fandom. Fashion critics are dissecting his outfits. Media outlets are analyzing his popularity. Even casual observers, those who might not follow BTS closely, are left in awe, wondering how one person can hold so much influence. It's the kind of universal appeal that transcends boundaries and unites people in collective fascination. Now, a week might sound like a short time, but in the digital age, it's more than enough to create legends. And that's exactly what happened here. Taehyung didn't just trend. He rewrote the rules of what it means to go viral. But let's ask the burning question. What's next? If this is what he can do in a matter of days, what kind of impact will he unleash with an actual project, performance, or announcement? Will the internet even survive the storm that's coming? Or will history remember this week as only the beginning of a much bigger chapter in Taehyung's journey? ARMY, are you ready for what's about to unfold? Because one thing is certain, when Taehyung moves, the whole world watches. And when he smiles, the whole world explodes. What makes this phenomenon even more astonishing is the sheer unpredictability of it all. Taehyung doesn't need grand gestures to dominate global attention. Sometimes it's a single glance, a casual outfit, or even a quiet moment captured on camera that ends up taking the internet by storm. And that's where the mystery lies. How can someone turn the most ordinary moments into extraordinary global events? This past week, fans described the experience of following Taehyung as an emotional roller coaster. One day, they were left gasping at his striking visuals in photos that surfaced online. The next, they were laughing through tears at a playful interaction he shared with a fan. Hours later, the same fans were back on social media, screaming in unison as speculation spread about what he might be preparing behind the scenes. It wasn't just fandom activity, it was like living inside a global festival dedicated to one man. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss the next big news about Jungkook and BTS. Your support means everything. See you in the next video.